Dawn started in Walsingham, and they used the statue of Our Lady of Walsingham as their image, and we felt really called to come here to St Andrews. And we thought, well, what image could we use? What Scottish image could we use? And this is our only well-known pre-Reformation image. And so we thought it's important to keep that image, Our Lady of Aberdeen, alive and known to the people of Scotland, because she is actually our national icon. But probably not many people realise that.
Absolutely wonderful. I did a lot of the artwork this time with the youth, and they seem to enjoy it. The painting is over there. It was on display today. It was about the fishing of men. That was the background, going into the deep. So, but a wonderful occasion. We've got such a volume of people here.
I am Father Gladson Dabre, and I'm an Augustinian friar. And I'm here to attend the New Dawn conference, which I have been attending for the last 3 years. It has been a great honor to be here on these grounds, which was consecrated as the Cathedral here 700 years ago. And it's a great celebration, not just for the people of Scotland and St Andrews here, but also for the church at large. So it's a great blessing to be here to celebrate this great occasion with many people who have attended here.
The shrine containing the relics of the Apostle Andrew were venerated here since the 8th century, a centre beacon of medieval faith and pilgrimage of enormous proportions. Ranked highly amongst the greatest and largest pilgrim shrines in Europe, alongside Rome, the Holy Land, Canterbury, Santiago, Cologne and Walsingham. Here in St Andrews, contemporary records and annals show a civic population who were both caught up in the great celebrations of the liturgical calendar, the eternal cycle of feasts and celebrations. I must say I'm most grateful to the New Dawn movement for having their renewal weeks here in St Andrews, for they have redrawn our attention to the Catholic roots of our past in this beautiful and historic town. But what of this great cathedral complex, now ruined, and which has now become for many simply an historical artifact to be marvelled at, but nonetheless consigned to the annals of history? This holy place shares with us the reminders of a once living and influential and powerful witness to the gospel at the highest levels of our land, calling our attention to adoration and prayer, whatever its political connections, to the past history of our country. The shell of this great church resembles the great monastic settlements dotted about the various once sacred centres and shrines of Scotland. It seems to me to be on the one hand like a great metaphor for the influence the church once experienced in this land and is now lost. But who listens to the words of the gospel in Parliament now? Anyone who has been invited to give the daily reflection at Holyrood will tell you how so few parliamentarians come to the parliamentary chamber at the time of the time of reflection, and how even fewer who do come listen to what's being said. The messages rendered there by ecclesiastics from all traditions in Scotland are so morphed and doctored so as not to challenge and offend, that they are totally anodyne and say nothing to our government. The language is often truncated and peppered with politically correct language. The social engineering experiments which emanate from our parliaments have brought us so many radical new institutions and forms of human community and family alien and unrecognisable to the Scriptures. Like all the great schisms in the Church since the time of Christ, the utter confusion even amongst the Church's magisterial teaching. Brothers and sisters, we are in a period of great confusion and punishment and chastisement. This is an unpopular message, but we deserve it. We need to heed it. We need to respond to it, all of us. This ruined cathedral, like the church herself, is brought low. It contains the memories of a glorious and sometimes inglorious past. We have suffered before, and we have been heavily chastised by God before, and we've deserved it. But God never closes the door on us. God never forgets us. For Christ has triumphed and goes back on his promises never.
This is just an amazing space to pray, and because my family are from Scotland, and 2 years ago I prayed over there after communion, and I prayed that I knew I had relations in Italy and relations in Scotland that I'd never met, and I'd love to meet them. And then after the Mass we went for a meal in one of the restaurants, and halfway through the meal this man taps me on the shoulder and says, "I'm your cousin." And I said, "I don't think so." So 3 times of telling me, I said, "Oh, okay then, what's your name?" And he told me his name, and I said, "Oh, you are my cousin."
Oh, we were just celebrating the 700th anniversary of this fabulous cathedral, and Bishop Stephen just did a fabulous homily. Everybody was so happy.
It's in ruin today, as we can see, but it's actually a sign that God is going to rebuild his church. So we are very happy Bishop came, and it was very good so far. Thank you.
It's an amazing atmosphere, and everybody's so lovely, and it's just a great time.
Oh, it's been terrific. It's a great day, but what was the great icing on the cake was the appearance of, did you see it? The appearance of the saltire in the sky, which is incredible, on the 700th anniversary of the dedication of his cathedral. Fantastic, what a fantastic place this is. It would be great to still have it. There was a great plan a few years ago to restore it. There's not much to restore when you look at it, but the plan was to put a new roof on it and use it again, but it just never happened. It cost millions and millions. It's a great day, a great experience, because I know the New Dawn people are terrific for promoting the whole renewal programme in the church, but the fact that they have it here draws people to St Andrews, and it's great. This is my 4th time, I think, here.
And so we're back. After 500 years, we're back. And we had the Rosary procession for the first time on our 3rd New Dawn conference, and we travelled up the street processing with a statue of Our Lady, and we passed the church where John Knox incited the crowds to sack this place. And 500 years later, we're back.